Hello, my name's Arnold, distance runner and 232 marathoner based here in Gibraltar. Today I'm going to be giving you my top bits of kit that I'm using for my training and racing in 2019. Hello and welcome to the video. My name's Arnold Rogers, distance runner and 232 runner. Today I'm going to be going through some of my top bits of kit which I use for my normal daily training and some of the bits of kit that I use specifically for racing. To kick things off then is my normal daily trainer. Now I'm not sponsored by Nike or anything like that, but you will see that pretty much all my kit is Nike. That's two reasons. A, I absolutely prefer it. I think it's one of the best brands there is out there. I've gone through a whole host of brands and Nike seems to be one that I am most pleased with. Maybe that's specifically for me and what works for my feet and what's comfortable for me. However, I've gone through numerous brands before and picked up injuries, never been quite comfortable, and Nike seems to be the brand that I've stuck with. I also think it's more of a professional look, particularly those who are distance runners that are racing and sometimes featuring in the media and stuff like that, to kind of stick with one brand. So first thing then is my normal daily trainer. This is the one that I do most of my mileage in, and that is the Nike Pegasus 35. I've had about 6 or 7 pairs of these now. Normally try and change them out around about once a month. Previous to this, I was on the Adidas range, so I was on the Adios Boost 3 and of course the Bostons for my marathons. Didn't get on too bad with them, kind of liked them, thought I'd try the Nikes out, switched across to the Nikes, and I've been with them ever since. No gripes with it whatsoever. Pretty versatile, neutral trainer. So obviously, like I say, they're neutral, so you need to make sure you are a neutral runner, as in your foot strikes from the forefoot to the midfoot, okay, and not striking with the heel or on the side or anything like that. These are designed for a neutral runner, so forefoot contact with the ground first. Like I say, these are a fairly versatile trainer. I use these for pretty much everything from my normal daily mileage all the way up to long runs, occasional tempos and stuff like that. These are, like I say, very versatile. They can be used on all sorts of different terrain. Very comfy trainer indeed. Highly recommend these for anyone who's after an all-round trainer that wants to put in the mileage. But like I say, do try and make sure you are a neutral racer. Outside of these, if I am going to be racing or I'm doing a bit more hard intensity speed work, then I do have another trainer. These are the Nike Zoom Flies. These are not the 4%. These are the cheaper, sort of lower down little brother of the 4%. Why do I get these, not the 4%? Well, the 4% for a start are probably about twice the price of this. They retail for about £220, whereas these are in at £140. So significant difference in price there. And these last a lot longer than the 4%. 4% are great. They are kind of an all-round marathoner racing shoe. However, they've got a very short-lived life. Some people even saying that they're only supposed to go down to particularly like one marathon worth of mileage. So I get these, and in these I do all of my sort of tempo runs, speed work, mile repeats, and then of course my marathons and half marathons. These are the newer versions. I've only recently got these ones. Before that it was sort of their last season's version, which didn't have the carbon plate. These are taking a lot of the same sort of features from the 4%. They've now got the fly knit upper, nice soft sole. Okay, it's not the same foam that you're going to get in the 4%. This is a slightly cheaper version. However, very cushioned and very responsive foam. And of course, these now have that carbon plate that runs all the way through the middle. Okay, giving you that feedback and giving you plenty of responsiveness on the road. So I really like these. Haven't raced in them yet. Done a bit of speed work in them. Highly rate them. Definitely feel like you're in a faster trainer. Next bit of kit that I'm always using is my sunglasses. Can't live without these. Not only am I in a hot environment, obviously when you're running fast, sometimes you get wind, sometimes you get flies and stuff like that. It keeps debris out your eyes, and I just find it generally much more comfortable to run with sunglasses. Protection from the UV, protection from bright sunlight, and of course a little bit of wind and debris protection at the same time. I've also got a bit of a psychological thing when it comes to sunglasses. Every time I race, I have to cover my eyes up. Don't know what it is, it's something I've always had, and it just kind of is a little psychological thing I have before I start a race. Pull my sunglasses down, hide behind my glasses, and people can't see my eyes and see kind of what sort of pain and suffering I'm going through. These are the Oakley Flak 2.0. I've been with these ones for a while now. I did have some more cycling specific ones before, found them to be a bit too big. These are a little bit smaller, nice and comfortable on the face, nice and snugged quite comfortably in on the face. Never had any dramas with them falling off, never had any major dramas with them steaming up either, nice and comfy. And these have got the polarized front to them, so it keeps the glare off of the water and puddles and anything like that. Again, highly rate these. These normally last me about a year, and then I have to change them out because I wash down the fronts too much and it washes the polarizer away. But another essential bit of running kit, especially when you're in a warm climate like we are out here. Next bit of kit, absolutely can't live without, is my GPS running watch. This is the Garmin Forerunner 235. It's a slightly newer version than the 230 in the fact that this one has the built-in optical heart rate. Highly rated GPS watch. I think once you start training with a GPS watch, you'll understand the benefits and realise that you cannot go back. Anytime I'm running without this, which, well, I'm pretty much never running without this, I feel completely blind when I'm running. Don't know what your pace is, don't know your heart rate, don't know your splits. Once I started training with a GPS watch, I obviously never went back. Was with Polar before, tried a Polar watch, did like it, did go on with it. However, since switching across to Garmin, some of the newer metrics they've got in here, like tracking your sleep, tracking your recovery, VO2 and all that sort of stuff, just useful little things to come into. And I've not gone away from Garmin ever since. I'm quite comfortable with Garmin and think I'll stick with them. So this, like I say, is the Garmin Forerunner 235. Like I say, this does have built-in heart rate. However, it can be a bit hit and miss. So I use the Ant Plus heart rate strap. With that, it pairs up nice and easily, and also this can be used with any other Ant Plus stuff, such as watt bikes, bits of gym kit and stuff like that. This just being on the body itself, a lot more accurate than the wrist-based heart rate, and therefore I can get the most accurate data at all times. What you tend to find with these built-in heart rate monitors is that when you start a run or start a race, the first sort of 10-15 minutes, it doesn't really know what's going on. Then it understands your heart rate and you get this sudden spike, missing out on that first 10 minutes worth of heart rate data being accurate. So if you're having that sort of problem, or you're going to get into heart rate based training, definitely recommend that you get a heart rate strap that goes along with your kit. In terms of clothing and gear itself, again, like I say, probably me just being a bit picky, I stick with Nike. T-shirts and shorts are all part of the Nike Miler range. Found them to be very comfortable, very lightweight and breathable. I've had this stuff for about a year now. It's been washed hundreds of times. It's been worn hundreds of times. And although the logos and that might be wearing away slightly, the kit's still fully usable and absolutely rate Nike kit through and through. I think Nike, probably being one of the biggest companies out there, seems to spend an awful lot of money on research and development, and subsequently that means they're producing some of the best sets of kit out there. Not least of all, probably sort of money related as well, but they are sponsoring the biggest and best athletes in the world, and I think that's got a lot to be said about the brand itself. Next bit of kit then, pretty essential for anyone that's going to be doing sort of higher mileage, anyone that wants to do a bit of maintenance work on the side of all the running you're doing and all the training. And if you've not quite got access to sports massage and physio and stuff like that, is a foam roller. Essential bit of kit. Hopefully I'm going to be doing a video soon to show you all of what sort of stuff I do when it comes to foam rolling. This one now, I've had about a year, could probably do with sort of changing it out, however it's still pretty good. This is the Trig Point Therapy Grid 2.0. Fantastic foam roller, nice solid plastic tube inside so you don't get much bend or flex in there, and it has a grid system on here so you're getting plenty of little grooves and dents that can dig into your muscles, help roll out those knots. This is great, sort of a post-workout sports massage style thing, and obviously to help increase flexibility and recovery, just roll around on this on your legs for about 30 minutes a day. Is really going to help benefit you massively. Best case, if you can get a couple of different ones of these, have different patterns, then obviously you're not getting used to it. Unfortunately, I've had just this one for about a year now, and I've got pretty used to the patterns and that are in it. So now I have to really dig pretty deep, put a lot of weight on it to try and get any sort of reaction to my muscles from it. I'm looking at getting a different one, hopefully one with a little bit more resistant stuff on it, a little bit lumpier, and then obviously really work those muscles and get all those knots out, hopefully boosting recovery. Last but not least is my kind of racing clothing. I've trialed and errored with several different bits of kit over the years. What I've found, again, Nike, apologies, what I've found to be the best for me now is the Nike Vaporknit stuff. These are the Nike Vaporknit shorts. As you'll see, pretty skimpy, pretty small, but extremely lightweight, extremely breathable fabrics. And unlike a lot of these kind of race shorts, they do actually have a pocket in them, which is great for getting a gel, keys, anything like that if you're going to be going out for a long run. These, absolutely rate them, absolutely love them. Unfortunately, like with a lot of the Nike stuff, they are pretty expensive. I think these come in at about £45, but as I say, highly rate them. And then hand in hand with that is the newer version of the Nike Vaporknit, the Nike Aero Swift vest. Again, highly rate this. This is the same sort of vest that you see all the pros wearing at the moment. They'll obviously have their own team versions or the sponsored kit version, but this is the one that you see the likes of Kipchoge and that running around in. Extremely breathable. You see that it's got a lot of holes in it. Really lightweight, breathable fabric. Again, unfortunately, being Nike, being a pretty premium product, you're going to pay an arm and a leg for this. This is about £50. However, highly rate it. Extremely lightweight, extremely breathable. Unfortunately, I have it in black. It's the only sort of one they did. This stuff's quite hard to get hold of. Comes on sale and goes pretty quickly. However, I managed to pick up a black one in my size and hopefully invest in some more of these in the future. Brilliant bits of kit. Like I say, can't recommend it enough if you're willing to spend that money on the racing kit. All in all, that's my kit that I'm using at the moment for start 2019. I hope to try and replace my kit as and when new stuff comes out. I'm always keen to try new things, get very excited about gear, very excited about the kit that I'm using. Looking at potentially upgrading the watch soon. There's some new watches coming out now, definitely a lot more features. You've got some new Garmin watches coming out now, you can store music on them. A lot more data screens available, lots of stuff on recovery and sleep elements that you can get from the watches these days. Obviously as well, trainers, shoes, that's something pretty fluid and flexible. I tend to try and change my shoes monthly for the normal daily trainer. For me, that's about every 250 to 300 miles. And then the racing shoes, kind of as and when they feel like they need to be changed out really. Typically one sort of training block, a build up to a race and the race itself. That will probably put these particular shoes at about 250, 300 miles by the time I've done the marathon as well. And that's normally around about the time I start to change them out. It's not because I'm being picky or anything like that. Every set of trainers has its kind of cut off of mileage. Normally between about 250 to 500 miles is the recommended amount. And that's just purely because the carbon plate, the sponginess, the foam in the bottom all starts to wear around and it has less use. And it doesn't become as effective as it was before, which isn't too much of an issue if you're just a casual runner. But when you're running day in, day out, twice a day, then that every little bit of protection is needed from the shoes. Stop yourself getting injured and to be obviously to maintain that kind of high level mileage. That's kind of the reason behind changing shoes out as often as possible. For me, that ends up falling around about monthly. So payday comes around, get a new set of trainers, all slots in fairly nicely, and it's just become a bit of a routine for me. So that's my gear. Hopefully give you a bit of an insight into the sort of stuff I'm using at the moment during this training block. Any questions, anything like that, or anything you want to know about the kit, leave a question in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you as quick as possible. And as always, like all the YouTubers ask, if you like this video and want to see more like it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. See ya.